We're going to turn things over to Teresa, who is outside of the courthouse there with this verdict. Teresa, you mentioned earlier again, we want to kind of talk about it, that you were seeing some of the jurors and how they were dressed, and it may have been an indication of what kind of verdict was going to come down today, if any. There was a difference in how they were dressed, and I know she pointed that out as a possibility of hinting at this is what likely was going to happen today and at this time.
Yeah, Bianca, so much of covering a trial, whether it be in a state court or a federal court, is understanding and just observing the tenor of the room and all of the players. And I might argue that with the exception of the defendant and maybe the judge, there is no one that is more important in that room than those jurors. And this has been a long trial, roughly 9 weeks. That is a lot of time to be sitting there, to be attempting to digest information that you don't normally have coming at you. These are not necessarily lawyers or judges or people who are proficient in any sort of legal profession that are sitting there. These are average New Yorkers, mind you, even though Senator Menendez represents New Jersey, even though the vast majority of these crimes occurred in New Jersey, this case was seated here in Manhattan. And so these are average New Yorkers. Some work overnights. I understand one woman has 3 children. There is a man who appears to be disabled that is on the court, on the jury rather. It is incredibly diverse. And so we have seen them day in and day out in all different kinds of dress. And I will tell you, there have been a few days where I said, that person rolled out of bed and showed up to court today, and that is their right. As long as they get to that jury box by 9:30 in the morning, they are fulfilling their civic duty. But today, it just looked like they were a little bit more, the way to put it is like spruced up. They tried a little. They had sundresses on. Hair was brushed. One guy who had been wearing like a beanie on his head did not have it on today. And so I thought to myself, are they nearing the end? Perhaps. Maybe that's what's going on. And as I mentioned also at noon, I think it bears repeating, this is a very close group of people. It's not often that you see a group of 12 jurors as well as alternates ask the judge if they can delay their deliberations, the start of their deliberations a little bit, while they go out to have essentially one last lunch as a family. That doesn't happen. They've been here for 9 weeks. They want to get this done. They want to get this over with. Sure, they're taking their responsibility seriously, but they want to get back to their own lives and their own families. And this jury asked that. So my thinking, and some of the other reporters, we were wondering if maybe they're going to go out after this tonight. Maybe they're going to have another meal together. They've concluded their civic service, and so perhaps this is what they're going to do, and they kind of look like they were dressed the part. I want to just point your attention behind me. Do you see all the media that was here, from, frankly, all over the world? They have their eyes trained on that front door of 500 Pearl. They are waiting for the state to come out and give comment, Menendez's defense team to come out and give comment, also the defense lawyers for Fred Davies and Will Hanna as well. And so we have our eye on that too as they wrap up. I would be very shocked, although I'm not in the courtroom right now, I'd be very shocked if Senator Menendez or either of the other 2 defendants were remanded into the custody of U.S. Marshals right now. This is typically the kind of thing in which he is given a sentencing date, he is allowed to appear for sentencing, and then they give him a date at which he has to arrive at his prison or camp. These are all white-collar crimes. He's likely not going to be in any sort of maximum security facility. We don't know if he will be in New Jersey, New York, or which of the states surrounding it. They will put him, and we don't know for how long. I mean, these charges carry a significant amount of time behind bars, but do not be surprised if they run concurrent and not consecutive, as in all at the same time, and not one charge right after the next. I also want to mention to you, Bianca, because I was listening to your interview with our expert, she mentioned Nadine Menendez. We heard yesterday, we heard today, but it was filed yesterday. Nadine's trial is delayed indefinitely. Now, one might think, the senator was the prize here. He is the one with the influence. He is the one with the clout. He is the one that the jury found could make things happen at will. He is also the one that accepted and demanded bribes for his influence. But this is the superseding indictment. This is 66 pages. This is the indictment that was filed just last September. Nadine's name is on every single page. Every page. And if you listened at all to any of the evidence that was shown in court, time and time and time again, it showed that Nadine was essentially the conduit between the senator and these Egyptian businessmen and Fred Davies and even the government of Egypt. Time and again, they mentioned that she helped him use his power and his influence. Now, she is at this point only accused. She has not been convicted of any crimes. But frankly, with the amount of times that her name is listed in this document, you would think that this is not only a conviction for her husband, but a conviction for her as well. So we will send things back to you in the studio, Bianca. We are waiting for word from all the legal teams involved. And again, it is important to mention that all of this happened after Senator Menendez's hung jury trial in 2017. Yeah. Everything here happened from 2018 to 2023. So these are not allegations from years and years and years ago that are coming back to roost. These are crimes that were committed in the wake of him getting off of that first charge with Solomon Mendel and those accusations of bribery there. Back to you.
All right, Teresa, thank you so much for that.